Mike Tamoaieta was born on July 6, 1995 in Apia, Samoa, and developed into a powerful front-row prospect, attending Sacred Heart College in Auckland, where he honed his skills as a prop before breaking into provincial rugby with North Harbour in 2017, earning selection to the Mitre 10 Cup squad and making 11 appearances in his debut season. His strong scrummaging, mobility around the park, and work ethic saw him fast-tracked into Super Rugby with the Blues in 2018, where he made 10 appearances, showcasing his reliability in set pieces and contributing to the team's forward platform despite his youth and relative inexperience at that level. Internationally, Tamoaieta represented Samoa at the U20 level in 2015, featuring in 5 matches during the World Rugby U20 Championship, reinforcing his status as a promising Samoan-born talent, making his mark in New Zealand rugby pathways. Tragically, on March 1, 2019, at the age of 23, Tamoaieta passed away suddenly at his home in Auckland, a loss announced by his partner, Helen Titai, on social media the following day. No official cause of death was released publicly, respecting the family's privacy amid an outpouring of shock across the rugby community. He left behind his partner Helen and their young daughter, Ihana, also spelled Ahara in some reports, and was remembered as a beloved son, partner, father, teammate, and friend whose smile and commitment left a lasting impression on all who knew him. New Zealand Rugby CEO Steve Tew, Blues leadership, North Harbour officials, and teammates, including international players such as Artie Savia, publicly conveyed their condolences, emphasizing the depth of his relationships within the rugby fraternity. In tribute during Week 2 of the 2019 Super Rugby season, New Zealand franchises including the Chiefs, Crusaders, and Blues wore black armbands to honor his memory at games across Hamilton, Brisbane, and Buenos Aires, illustrating the unity and respect within the sport for a young player whose career was only beginning to flourish. His sudden passing resonated deeply within both the Samoan and New Zealand rugby communities, serving as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of support networks, and his legacy endures in the memories of those who witnessed his dedication on and off the field, as well as in initiatives and conversations around player welfare that gained renewed attention following his death. James Terence Small was born on February 10, 1969, in Cape Town, and emerged as a dynamic and pacey rugby union winger whose international debut came against New Zealand in August 1992, at a time when South African rugby was re-entering the global arena following years of isolation. Over the course of his Springbok career from 1992 to 1997, he earned 47 caps and scored 20 tries, making him the leading Springbok try scorer of his era, by eclipsing Danny Gerber's record in his final test against Scotland in December 1997. Small's combination of raw speed, instinctive finishing ability, and combative attitude on the field saw him become a key figure in the squad that achieved a historic victory at the 1995 Rugby World Cup on home soil, famously helping to contain Jonah Lamu in the final and contributing to a triumph that resonated far beyond sport in post-apartheid South Africa. At provincial and Super Rugby level, he likewise made his mark, notably finishing as the leading try scorer in the 1996 Super 12 season. Beyond his on-field exploits, Small remained engaged with rugby after retiring in 1999, taking roles in coaching, commentary, and mentoring younger players, while also pursuing entrepreneurial interests in hospitality and property development. On July 10, 2019, at the age of 50, Small suffered a fatal heart attack in Johannesburg. His sudden passing was confirmed by family and widely reported by national and international media. A memorial service held at the Wanderers Rugby field drew former teammates, coaches, and supporters who paid tribute to his impact on and off the field, reflecting the esteem in which he was held within the rugby community. Remembered for his thrilling try-scoring feats, fierce competitive spirit, and role in one of rugby's most iconic teams, James Small's legacy endures as a symbol of South African rugby's revival and its power to unite a nation. Chester Williams, born Chester Morne Williams on August 8, 1970 in Paarl, South Africa, emerged from humble beginnings to become one of the most transformative figures in rugby history. He made his Springbok debut in 1993 and went on to represent South Africa from 1993 to 2000, most notably as the only non-white member of the squad that triumphed at the 1995 Rugby World Cup, where he scored 4 tries in the quarterfinal en route to the final victory over New Zealand. Nicknamed the Black Pearl, Williams played provincially for Western Province in the Currie Cup and in Super Rugby for the Stormers and the Cats, Golden Lions between 1991 and 2000. His inclusion and performance during the 1995 tournament, hosted in South Africa following the end of apartheid, carried immense symbolic weight. He was personally invited to Nelson Mandela's home for lunch in 1994 to discuss how rugby could help unify a deeply divided nation, reflecting his status as a bridge between communities. Despite facing injuries, two knee injuries in 1996 and 1997, and occasional episodes of racial tension within the sport, Williams maintained his place as a dynamic, reliable winger, ending his international career in 2000 with 27 caps and 14 tries. After hanging up his boots, he transitioned into coaching, including roles with the South Africa national rugby sevens team, a stint with the Uganda national side, and positions at the University of the Western Cape. He also worked behind the scenes on the 2009 film Invictus, helping to coach actors such as Matt Damon for authentic rugby scenes and being portrayed on screen by McNeil Hendricks. Williams remained a vocal advocate for greater inclusion and used his platform to address lingering inequalities in South African rugby, as documented in his 2002 biography, A Biography of Courage, in which he recounted both overt and subtle instances of intolerance within the sport. On September 6, 2019, at the age of 49, Williams died suddenly of a suspected heart attack while in Cape Town, sending shockwaves through the rugby world. Tributes poured in from former teammates, rugby officials, and fans who lauded him as a pioneer whose impact transcended the field, embodying the spirit of the Rainbow Nation and inspiring generations of players of all backgrounds. His legacy endures not only in record books, but in the broader narrative of sport as a catalyst for social change, and he is remembered widely as someone whose career and character helped to redefine possibilities for non-white athletes in South Africa and beyond. Natalie Harrowell was an English rugby league forward whose sudden passing at age 29, following hospitalization with a virus, sent shockwaves through the rugby community. Born in Hull, and a devoted Hull FC supporter, she made her England debut on October 22, 2016 against France, marking the occasion with a try in a 36-6 victory in Avignon, and went on to earn 3 caps for England between 2016 and 2017, including appearances during the successful Tour of France in June 2017. At club level, Harrowell was a stalwart of Featherstone Rovers, regarded as Featherstone through and through, and captained the side that made history by reaching the inaugural Women's Super League Grand Final in 2017, where Featherstone narrowly lost to Bradford Bulls. Her performances in that era of burgeoning interest in women's rugby league underscored her role as a trailblazer for the women's game. In 2019, she was honored with the club's Woman of Steel Award in recognition of her leadership, work ethic, and inspirational presence on and off the field. Beyond her exploits as a player, Harrowell took on a development coaching role with Wakefield Trinity, channeling her passion into attracting and mentoring young girls into rugby league, thereby fostering growth at grassroots level. Her untimely death prompted heartfelt tributes. Featherstone Rovers Rugby Football League Chief Executive Ralph Rimmer, teammates, and figures across the sport expressed deep sympathy for her family, notably her young daughter Olivia, and highlighted the void left by her absence. Fundraising initiatives, including a GoFundMe for her funeral and subsequent memorial matches in her honor, demonstrated the widespread affection and respect she commanded. Harrowell's legacy endures in the ongoing commitment within women's rugby league to the standards she set. Her dedication, leadership, and advocacy continue to inspire players and supporters, ensuring that her impact on the sport remains a guiding influence for future generations. Ibrahim Diarra was born on May 25, 1983 in Paris, France, and emerged as a powerful flanker whose physicality and work rate made him a mainstay at club level over more than a decade of professional rugby. He made his way into senior rugby relatively late, being identified at US Montauban, where he played from 2005 to 2009, amassing 89 appearances and demonstrating his strength in ball carry and defensive duties. In 2009, he followed coaches Laurent Travers and Laurent Labitte to Castres Olympique, where over 7 seasons, 2009 to 2016, he featured in approximately 155 matches, contributing around 35 points and becoming an indispensable figure in the back row, noted for his tackling, breakdown work, and leadership on the field. His efforts helped Castres capture the top 14 title in the 2012-13 season, a pinnacle achievement in French domestic rugby, after a 19-14 victory over Toulon in the final, earning him the admiration of teammates and supporters alike. Internationally, Diarra achieved the honor of a single cap for France, starting as flanker against Italy in the 2008 Six Nations Championship on March 9, 2008, representing the culmination of his perseverance and performances at club level. After leaving Castres in 2016, he had brief stints at Section Pawaz, one appearance, and later with AS Voreen before retiring in 2018. His post-playing career saw him remain connected to rugby, including commercial roles at his formative club. Tragically, on December 18, 2019, at age 36, Diarra suffered a fatal cardiac event in Paris, prompting an outpouring of tributes across the top 14 fraternity and beyond, reflecting the respect he had earned for his character, commitment, and contributions to French rugby. His half-brother Mohameda Diarra, an international for Senegal, and other family members remembered him the same week for his passion, resilience, and the impact he made on and off the field. Stanley Frank Tiny Hill, born on April 9, 1927 in New Plymouth, New Zealand, emerged from humble beginnings at Okado Primary School to become one of the most formidable forwards in mid-20th century rugby. Standing 1.88 m tall and weighing around 94 kilograms, Hill combined physicality with an astute understanding of the game, qualities that saw him represent Canterbury and later counties Manukau at provincial level before earning selection to the All Blacks in 1955. Between 1955 and 1959, he played 19 matches for New Zealand, 11 of them full internationals, captaining the side on 2 occasions. His uncompromising style once led to him being dropped for being too physical, underscoring both his commitment and the era's evolving standards of play. Beyond his on-field achievements, Hill balanced rugby with a lengthy career in the New Zealand Army, serving some 30 years during which he continued to nurture his leadership skills and passion for the sport. After hanging up his boots, he seamlessly transitioned into talent identification and administration. He served as a selector for the New Zealand Army team for Canterbury Provincial Rugby, and notably as an All Blacks selector from 1981 to 1986, influencing a generation of players and helping to shape New Zealand rugby during a pivotal era. In recognition of his services to rugby, he was appointed a member of the Order of the British Empire in the 1996 New Year Honours. His sporting legacy extended to his family. His sons Stan and John both represented New Zealand in basketball, reflecting the athletic pedigree he fostered at home. Off the field, Hill was known for his dedication to community and often spoke of the disciplined rugby instilled in him, qualities that serve him in his post-service life, including pursuits such as beekeeping and local coaching roles. Tiny Hill passed away in Ralston on October 2, 2019 at the age of 92, leaving behind memories of a fiercely loyal All Black whose determination and service, both in sport and country, cement his status as a true New Zealand rugby legend. Michael Roland Mickey Steelbodger was born on September 4, 1925 in Tamworth, Staffordshire, into a family with a strong veterinary tradition, being the younger son of noted veterinary surgeon Harry Steelbodger and brother of Alastair Steelbodger, himself a distinguished vet and academic. Educated at rugby school, he went on to read at Gonville and Caius College, Cambridge, where he played in the varsity match in 1945 and 1946, before studying veterinary medicine at the University of Edinburgh. Like his father and brother, he qualified as a veterinary surgeon, establishing a practice in Tamworth. His rugby career was marked by tenacious play despite a relatively modest size for a forward, standing around 5 feet 8 inches, with Cambridge Blues earned during wartime fixtures and post-war varsity matches. Steelbodger gained 9 caps for England, appearing in all 4 internationals in 1946-47 and all 5 in 1947-48. In his final test in March 1948, after covering for an injured scrum half and suffering concussion himself, he exemplified selfless determination. He also played club rugby for Harlequins and became a barbarian, captaining the invitational side twice and notably scoring the first try in their inaugural match against Australia in January 1948. An anterior cruciate ligament injury in 1949 curtailed his playing days, but he transitioned seamlessly into administration. At 28, he was an England and British and Irish Lions selector, later serving as president of the Rugby Football Union in 1973-74, chairman of the International Rugby Board in 1981, and president of the Barbarian Football Club from 1988 onward, as well as president of the East India Club in London. In recognition of his services to rugby, he was appointed commander of the Order of the British Empire in the 1990 New Year Honours. Steel Bodger remained dedicated to his veterinary practice and rugby traditions. His eponymous Steel Bodger 15 fixture against Cambridge University ran for over 7 decades and was widely revered for exemplifying the ethos, play to win but not at all costs, reflecting sportsmanship and camaraderie. He died on May 9, 2019 at age 93, leaving a legacy as a player, administrator, and ambassador for rugby union and veterinary medicine alike. Michel Cross na lus 6 juil at 1934 a St. Laurent negas 80 lutu my 2019 apau a l'age de 84 ans, demeure un figure emblématique du rugby français de années 1950-60, tant pour son talent que pour son charisme. Evoluant principalement comme troisième ligne ale, flanker, et numéro 8 au sein du Racing Club de France Pousse de FC Lourdes, Illinois totalized 63 selections en équipe de France entre 1957 et 1966, inscrivant 30 points au total. Crossed fate SES debuts internationaux le 19 mai 1957 contre la Roumanie, à Bucharest ETS impose rapidement par sa présence physique et son jeu volontaire. D'un sens aigu du travail collectif et d'une endurance remarquable, Illinois se distingue par son engagement sans file, sa capacité à soutenir l'attaque comme sa monteur redoutable en défense, qualités que lui vaudront les surnoms de Mongol ou Utila, en raison de sa moustache, de son crâne de gauge et de son style combatif. En 1961, il est élu Oscar Midi Olympique du meilleur joueur français du championnat, soulignant sa reconnaissance par SES pairs et la presse spécialisée. Capitaine à 22 reprises, Illinois mit notamment les Blues lors de la tournée historique en Afrique du Sud en 1964, au cours de laquelle la France remporte pour la première fois un test face aux Springboks, exploit auquel Cross contribue par son leadership et son jeu de pack surnomme, le pack de bestios. Il demeure également le premier international tricolore à inscrire 3 essais au cours d'un même test, lors du match contre l'Angleterre, à Colombe en 1962, marquant ainsi un état majeur dans l'histoire du rugby français. Outre SES performances sur le terrain, Michel Cross est illustre par son aura hors du terrain. Il est décoré de la Légion d'honneur par le général de Gaulle en 1966, puis s'élève au grade d'officier en 2010, témoignant de la place qu'il occupe dans le patrimoine sportif national. Après un lutte de plusieurs années contre la maladie, Illinois est cédant le 2 mai 2019 à Pau, laissant le souvenir d'un capitaine exemplaire, d'un guerrier généraux et d'un ambassadeur passion du rugby français, dont el héritage perdure tant dans les annales du sport que dans la mémoire de amateurs et de générations suivantes. Brian Leo Jazz Muller was born on June 11, 1942 in Eltham, New Zealand, and emerged from humble beginnings to become one of Taranaki's and New Zealand Rugby Union's most respected props, standing 1.85 m tall, and weighing between 107 kilograms and 114 kilograms during his playing days. He combined formidable physical presence with technique and agility uncommon for his era. Educated locally, and working as a freezing worker, when not on the field, Muller made his provincial debut for Taranaki in 1963 and went on to amass around 65 appearances through to 1972, earning a reputation for scrummaging strength, durability in the tight exchanges, and loyalty to his home province. His consistent form saw him selected for the All Blacks in 1967, adopting the nickname Jazz, and over the next 4 years, he featured in 35 matches for New Zealand, including 14 internationals, facing rugby powerhouses such as Australia, England, Wales, France, South Africa, and the British and Irish Lions, winning 9 of those test matches. Known off the field for his down-to-earth nature, famously photographed wielding a lawnmower to trim his hedges, an image that endeared him to fans as a symbol of the everyday New Zealander achieving rugby greatness, he was celebrated for combining strength with humility. After retiring from top-level rugby, Muller remained connected to his local club in Eltham and the broader Taranaki community, contributing to grassroots rugby and serving as an example to younger generations of players about dedication and character both on and off the pitch. On December 12, 2019, at age 77, Brian Muller passed away peacefully at Telford Life Care and Village, the passing confirmed by Taranaki Rugby, and mourned across the rugby fraternity for the loss of a stalwart of the scrum and a man whose legacy persists in New Zealand rugby folklore. His life and career encapsulate a golden era of New Zealand rugby, and his memory endures in stories of scrummaging prowess, community spirit, and the timeless appeal of an all-black who never forgot his roots. Ronald Rutherford Elvidge was born on March 2, 1923 in Timaru, New Zealand, and over the course of his long life distinguished himself both on the rugby field and in medicine, before passing away in Auckland on March 30, 2019, at the age of 96. Educated at John McGlashan College in Dunedin, where he was head prefect in 1939 and 1940, and excelled in multiple sports, swimming, boxing, athletics, cross-country, and rugby. Elvidge's early promise was clear as he captained his school's first 15 and broke several athletic records. He continued his studies at the University of Otago, balancing academics with provincial rugby commitments. Representing Otago from 1942 to 1950, he played some 30 games for the province and captained the side during its legendary Ranfurly Shield run, overseeing 18 consecutive successful defenses of the Log O Wood. A second 5/8 and center, Elvidge was first selected for the New Zealand national side, the All Blacks, in 1946. Between 1946 and 1950, he played 19 matches, including 9 internationals, and captained the team in 7 matches. Notably, in the third test of the 1950 British Lions series, despite suffering a collarbone injury and facial wound that should have forced him off, he bravely re-entered the field when his team was a man down, taking an extra defensive role and scoring the match-winning try in a 6-3 victory that clinched the series for New Zealand, an act often cited as emblematic of his courage and commitment to team over self. After the series, he retired from rugby to focus on his medical career. He became a leading obstetrician and gynecologist, earning respect in the medical community for decades. Elvidge held the distinction of being, after the death of Wally Argus in 2016, the oldest living All Black until his own passing. He is commemorated by the Elvidge Cup at John McGlashan College, awarded annually in inter-house competition, reflecting his lasting legacy in school, sport, and community. Remembered as both an Otago rugby great and a compassionate physician, Ron Elvidge's life exemplified leadership, resilience, and service, leaving an enduring imprint on New Zealand rugby and healthcare.